What is going on, Savages? Hope everyone is doing well on this hump day. I'm not gonna lie, I was not feeling it tonight. I was actually typing the tweet to say that there wasn't gonna be a live stream tonight, and I don't know, I just decided to do one anyway. So, but if you've ever wondered how to, I mean, it's probably gonna be a quick one because I'm just not feeling it. But if you've ever wondered how to validate files that you download off of the internet, especially in the terms of like crypto wallets and things like that, you'll see something where it'll say download hash or SHA-256 or something like that. And you might be wondering, like, what's that all about? How do I use that to validate the information? We're gonna get into it right after this. Welcome to the, whoa, that's not supposed to be on that screen. Hang on a second. Welcome to the SavageMine YouTube channel. If you are new here and want to learn more about crypto mining and crypto related projects, you can get a daily dose of it just by clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell right now so you don't miss out on anything. And you should probably also follow me on Twitter, which I think I have it up over here. And because over there, it's a little bit more interesting today than it has been in the past, but at least recently, because obviously the market's kind of doing some pretty cool stuff. So crypto Twitter is popping over there. But I also keep you guys updated on what's going on with the YouTube channel, and sometimes I run polls to help decide what we're gonna cover in the content on the live stream. It'll be interactive back and forth. Sometimes I'll do the polls like, hey, do you want to see something on whatever content, right? It could be, normally it's like different projects, different coins and stuff. So it is interactive, and you may actually help determine what the video content will be about that night. So let's take a quick look at what I am mining. It's probably no surprise, I don't change very often. I kind of, once I get things up and running and pretty efficient, I let it rock, I let it eat, I earn the crypto, I get to a certain point, and then I'll switch it to something else. Like I'll give myself pretty much a goal of what I want to hit, because I think it's really super inefficient to always be messing with your rigs and always be changing stuff, and you just end up losing money, right? You end up losing time and money. So not necessarily money, that's a bad word, but you understand what I'm saying. You lose the rewards that you would be getting if your rig was actually up and mining. So I'm mining Rio over here. I'm also mining, and that's with the GPUs on each rig, and then with the CPU on each rig, I'm mining XMR or Monero, and that's on both the NVIDIA and the AMD rig here in my office. And yeah, no real big surprise there. On the co-owned rigs, we are still mining CCX, have been since quite some time. I know this rig right here always says if it stays up and running for a long time, it'll go to 0. But if I check it out, it actually is still fine. And if I check it on the pool, it's fine also. So I don't know if it's just something weird with maybe I need to update the image or something. I don't know. But something's going on with the display. It'll display correctly for a while, and then it'll eventually go to 0. But it's actually still working. So we're still mining CCX over there. And let's take a quick look at the market. Kind of pulling back a little bit here. We've had a pretty good run with ETH and XRP. Link is still hanging in there. That's good to see. BTC still at 10.2. it hasn't really moved that much. Look at my watch list. Raven's doing a little bit better than usual. They were down like right around 3 cents, and they just were staying there for what seemed like forever. Loki's had a heck of a couple of days here. They're still up 10%. They're still hanging around 8. All right, let's look at each one individually here real quick. So we'll go CCX. CCX is up 20% today, so that's a good sign. I like to see that. They were dipping down right below 20 cents, so they were down in the 19s and 18s. So I like to see that. Raven we already looked at, but we'll check it out again here. And then swap Swap is down 13%. Let me grab something to drink here. And then Rio. Rio's up. There goes my browser again. What is going on? That only happens when I'm streaming too. That is so weird. It's probably a memory issue. So, all right, let's bring this back up. We'll go back into Mozilla here. That's so weird that it only does that when I'm streaming too. All right, let's go to CoinMarketCap. We'll get to see some ads and stuff. And that's so weird because last night it did the same thing, and it was while I was on Rio too. That's a little bit weird. All right, so they're up 14%. Loki, we already saw them. They're up like 17% now. It was just like 9, right? So they're still climbing a little bit. Well, but that was actually on Coin360, which none of these ever like match, especially if it's super volatile. They're not going to match. So on CoinMarketCap, it looks like they're actually up a lot more than on Coin360. Gazelle. Gazelle's up a little bit. Veil hanging around 8 cents. My number 8 is Arrow. Man, what is going on with my voice here? Number 8 is Arrow, and then they're not on CoinMarketCap, and then I got Bitcash. Oh, they're doing good today. That's good to see also. Doing well. And then AION. AION's actually up. they're actually up above 7 cents and something, so that's good. Glad to see it. All right, so that is a quick look at the market. If there's anything y'all want to see, just hit me up in the chat and I'll pull it up real quick. But tonight's content is going to cover how to check a file's hash for validity. So, I think we've been talking a lot about security and in the crypto mining space here for a while, or recently. Hey, what's up, Urban Explorer, aka Crypto Cruisin'? See here, what you got? Yeah, yours. Yeah, you did all right with your ETH buy for sure. Did you sell everything that you got into? Some. Oh, okay, but you sold all of ETH and half BTC. Oh yeah, you had to get your new channel up and going, right? So if you are, in our case, we've been messing around with Zelle recently, and if you are going to download a wallet or a miner, a lot of times you'll see where they'll provide a hash for the file, and you might be wondering, like, what in the world is this? What am I supposed to do with that, right? How does that help me? Well, first off, what you'll want to do is, like, let's say that we wanted to get a Zelle wallet, the Zelle multi-asset. It's called Zelle Core. So let's say we want to get the Zelle Core wallet, and we go to download over here, and you see down here where it says SHA-256. Well, that really doesn't help a lot right now, but if you wanted to validate your download, so let's say that we want to download for Windows, we want to download the version 2.2.3 from the website, and this is another thing you're going to want to check. So you would never, ever, ever, I would never recommend opening a link sent from someone in a Discord or other forum, like, hey, check out this really cool modified wallet, that I modified the user interface of to be really cool or really handy, right? Yeah, don't do that, because that's silly. You always want to get wallets and miners from the trusted source, whether it's GitHub, and you always want to validate everything. So in this case, if we wanted to get this Zelle Core wallet, I would first come up here and look to check the certificate and the connection, you know, make sure it's secure and all that. Obviously we're using HTTPS here, but there are other things. I think that if it was not a valid certificate, then it would show it here. I know in the Brave browser it looks a little bit different, but always click on that little lock and just validate the information in there and make sure that it looks good and that it doesn't look like it's a malicious website. And so that's the first thing you want to do. And then you kind of want to take a look at this link, or I'm sorry, the URL, and make sure that it is the valid URL, the one that you want to go to, right? Because even if someone sends you a link like, hey, here's Zelle, sometimes, you know, it can be modified on the back end to point to something else, right? And that happens a lot in email and things like that. So just keep that in mind. You always want to be super careful with this stuff. So all right, so we're pretty confident that this is accurate up here and that we're on the right website. So we're gonna go to download, and then we want to save the file. Actually, hang on a second. I've already got it downloaded, so I'm just gonna open this up. So here is Zelcore. This is the one I downloaded from their website earlier. It's not really gonna matter. I mean, I could go through the process, but it'll take a minute to download it, so I don't really wanna worry about doing that right now, since I already did it. And the next thing that we need to get from the website that we want to validate is the SHA-256 hash for that file. What do they think we're supposed to have? So all I did was I clicked on that, and then the file that we're going to look at first is zelcore.exe. So if we come over here, and right here is the hash that they are saying should be presented if you run that file that you're downloading through you can do it online, you can do it with PowerShell. There's all kinds of ways of validating the hash. But we're going to copy this just so that we have it documented and easy to get to here. Might have already, no, this was something else. Hang on, let me do this real quick. We're just going to say Zelcore hash. So we're just documenting what it is so that we can look at it real quick without going back to the website. That's it. All right. So now we want to run this file through a like a hash checker, basically. In this case, we are going. Let me bring up. I had all this already up in the Brave browser. See if I can grab this link at least. I might have to fire up my email before it crashes. All right, so go back over here. So in this case, we're going to go to md5file.com, and this is just an online way of checking file hashes, right? Nothing's uploaded to the website or anything like that. It's just a nice little utility for doing this online. If you want to do it offline, we can do it in PowerShell, right? So we'll look at that next. But for now, let's go ahead and we are going to click and drag this file, the zelcore.exe, over here. And then it just ran the hash on it. Okay. So the hash, it says for SHA-256, and that's what they provided us with from the source, right? From the website. It says it's supposed to be this right here. So I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to look at, I'm going to paste it below it and compare and make sure that it's the same. And it is the same. So now, what in the world did we just do? Well, we validated that the file that is on the website that we downloaded is what the website, the developers, believe to be the accurate file. Okay, so an unmodified, accurate file. So it hasn't been changed in a way from when it was compiled or created. So that is a pretty confident feeling. But to make a little easier example here, let's just take our own file. Okay, so I created this little file here. This is my file I'm sending to you, right? So I already saved it, but we're gonna run this through I'm gonna close it because it can kind of get kind of goofy if you do this. It doesn't upload the file to the website, but I think it checks like file names or something because it was kind of doing funny stuff earlier. So I'm just going to click and drag this one to the website and get the hash for it. So I'm just copying that, and then what we'll do that's not the right one. Okay. We'll document that one as well. So this is just so that we know what the hash is supposed to be, or was for it. So now what we'll do, so now if I sent you this file and said, hey, make sure you check the hash, because let's say this was something super important, and in the case of an executable, like a wallet, like the Zelport.exe, it's imperative that the file hasn't been modified since it was created, because you don't want malware to be in the background, keyloggers or whatever. Hey, what's up, Yashnik? There's all kinds of stuff that they can put into this and infect your system, do a backdoor and steal all your crypto and all that stuff, right? So you don't want to get into all that. So you always want to validate the file. So in this case, I'm saying that this is a super important file that I'm sending to you. It's binary data, right, on the back end. Behind this, it's all just ones and zeros to the computer. So now I'm going to, and we got the hash for this file as it was, right? So this is the hash for the file as it is right here. Not that one, this one. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all I'm going to do is add an exclamation point to it. I'm going to save it, and now the file has been modified from its original, right? And this could be simulating adding in malicious software on an exe. So just think about it like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over here. We have that documented. I'm going to refresh so that it clears it out. I'm going to go browse. Not what I want. Let's go down here. Just get it from here. I'm going to make sure that this is one I modified, and it is. I added an exclamation point to it. So now I'm just going to click and drag that one over here. All right, so now you see this new, the hash for it, the SHA-256 hash. Now if we go, I'm going to copy that over here, compare it to the one that I downloaded before or copied before on the original file, and you can see that it is not the same. It's different, which means that the file isn't the same and it got modified, right? Pretty simple. So it's not the same hash. So now let's go back and let's say I'm going to modify this file again with my file. I'm going to take that exclamation point off and save it. Refresh over here. Pull it back over here. And we're looking at the SHA-256. We could do any one of them, but that's the one we're kind of focusing on. So now, I didn't save that. So now whenever I paste this, it should be the same. And it is. Because now the file is the same as it was before I ran that hash on it, right? It's the same before I added that second exclamation point. So you can see how just a small change in the file changes the hash. So that's super important to think about whenever you're talking about, executables, especially in the crypto world, where we're putting on, we're installing miners, we're installing wallets, and all this stuff that we really need to verify that it's not, it doesn't contain any malicious software. But you always have to remember that you need to go back to the source, right? So you want to make sure that the file that you're checking is the correct file, because if you check the malicious software, let's say you have an executable, a wallet that has been modified and has malware in it. If you don't know, if you are getting the hash value from the same source as the file that has the malicious software in it, then you're going to get, it's going to look good, right? It's going to validate because it's not validating against the original file. So you always want to validate the source first and then validate the sources. So you want to get the source file and the hash value from a trusted source. I guess that's probably the easiest way to say it. You don't want to get the hash from one source and the file from another source, in other words. So I hope that this is making sense. I can throw this link over here in the chat so that you have it. Okay, so you can also do this with PowerShell without being online, right? So you could download the file, know what the hash is supposed to be, and then do it through PowerShell. Let's try that. Okay, so in this case, we're going to mess around with, we're going to use Zelcore again. All I did was type in PowerShell up here in the address bar and press enter, and it opens up in that folder. All right, so we know what the hash is supposed to be. I'm gonna bring this up. So that's the hash that we're supposed to get for Zelcore. And then is that file in that folder. See, this is the folder right here, C downloads, and Zelcore.exe is in there, the one that we downloaded, or the one that I downloaded before the live stream. So we'll just type in get file hash, and then the file name, which is Zelcore.exe, then format -list. And so now we've just used the local computer, locally using PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, to validate the hash, and it even tells you what algorithm it is, the path to the file, all that stuff. So if we copy this, we'll be able to copy it. Compare that with the hash that we know we got from the website, then it should be the same. And what's strange is it's all caps, but that's okay. It might just be the way that this is displaying it in PowerShell, but the values are the same. All right, so that is almost that's one of my fastest streams lately. Normally I've been going for like an hour, at least an hour. Let me know in the chat if y'all want to see something else. Hopefully that all made sense. Anybody want to check anything else out? I gotta troubleshoot why my Brave browser just crashes every time I'm streaming. Probably memory. Looks like the market's kind of bombing right now. That's not good. See what I think BTC dominance went up just a tad, I believe, since earlier. Volume isn't too bad. This is CoinMarketCap, and I don't know if you could actually trust it or not. far as volumes go. Yeah. It's probably because honestly, I only have 8 gigs of memory in this machine right now because I had a stick go bad. And that's probably what's going on here. It's just freaking out because I'm doing too much. Now my Brave is staying up now though. All right, well, I guess since nobody's saying anything, I guess I'll get out of here. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. I'm having I would love to get some recommendations from viewers and on Twitter, like, hey, can you cover something, whatever the topic is, because whenever I was doing the random coin mining show, it was super easy, because it was I had a list of random coins and we went through it. And then I know I tell this story from time to time, but I figured, since there's only a few of us in here, I can tell the story again. But as time went on, it was kind of cool, and I was only doing it because of practice, right? So we were covering a random coin, a random algo, a random project. Everything was random, right? And it was just to kind of stay on top of it, and how to mine all these different algos. All the different miners that you have to use for the different algos and projects and coins and everything. And that's why I was doing it. But then it turned into this thing where I was kind of being equated to shilling all these shit coins, and I don't want that. So then I kind of condensed it down to basically like a top 10. And I've said this before, it probably should be just a top 5, because it's really hard to follow 10 projects really closely. If I didn't have a full-time job already, it would be probably pretty easy. That would probably be my job. But 10 projects is overwhelming by itself. It probably should be 5. But anyway, so point is that it's not that easy whenever you don't have a plan like that to come up with content. So, and I'm just struggling with being freaking tired all the time too. So, it's not easy to hit that go live button every single night. And I've said this before, like, as long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep showing up. That's kind of like the thing. But just give me some ideas on some content that you might want to see. I think that would work out really well. I probably should just go back to straight up doing the polls, because that way it's kind of easier. But even the polls on Twitter, I still have to come up with the choices, right? So I don't know, man. Give me some ideas. Let me know what y'all are looking to for me to cover. I think it would be kind of cool to just get some random ideas. I've done it before. There's been a few times where people was like, hey, can you cover this, and I'll do it. So yeah, let me know. I will see you guys tomorrow night, probably same time, same channel, all that stuff. Stay savage.